morning, friends. I hope you all are fine and doing good and studying well. As you are aware, friends, in the last session we completed our third chapter of statistics, and that was regression. Now moving on back to completed two chapters in accountancy, chapter 1, and which was related to profit and loss appropriation and partners capital account, those two things. I hope you remember those. I'll just recapitulate what we did in chapter 1. We prepared profit and loss appropriation account, and profit and loss appropriation માંથી આપણને divisible profit મળતો હતો, which we used to transfer to partners capital account. Partner capital હતા fixed capital, fluctuating capital, current account અને fixed capital account. Managerial remuneration આપણે find કર્યું into 10 divided by 110 into 5 divided by 105 for finding managerial remuneration, and that was our chapter 1. In chapter 3 we learned about goodwill, કે પાર્ટનરશિપમાં ગુડવિલની કઈ રીતે ઇમ્પેક્ટ થાય. We learned 4 average, weighted average, capitalization of profit basis, and the fourth one was super profit basis method. Now moving on further and important, which will be useful in all the forthcoming chapters of partnership. તમારું first part આખું partnership છે, I told you in the first video also. Now fourthly made up of partnership. Now fourth chapter is related to reconstruction of partnership, that is change in partnership. When there is what are all the changes in a partnership, what all things can happen in a partnership. The first thing what can happen is there can be a change in the profit and loss ratio. Profit and loss ratio જે છે partners નું એ change થઈ જાય. That means suppose old ratio is 1:1:1 partnership firm A, B and C, and the old profit and loss ratio was 1:1:1, and now the partners have decided 1:1:1 to 3:2:1. Suppose illusionary છે. So that is known as reconstruction. Next, if there is admission of, that means એક partnership firm છે જેમાં already 3 partners છે અને હવે આપણે fourth partner ને એની અંદર include કરવો છે, તો 4 partners થઈ જશે, તો પણ partnership માં change આવશે. Next, there is retirement or death of a partner. That means there is change in the constitution because of death or retirement. કોઈ partnership, unfortunately suppose A, B and C 3 partners હતા અને unluckily C died, then in such situation there is partnership. તો આવું જ્યારે ક્યારે પણ થાય, whenever this 3 situation occurs, this first, this is second and this is third. In simple terms, પહેલા theoretically સમજાઈ દો. This is chapter 4, this is chapter 5, this is chapter 6. All these three individual chapters which we'll be learning at a stretch, and that is why I completed 3 chapters of statistics, because I knew this will be requiring time. Far enough that we will be meeting very soon, friends. It's not far enough that we will not be meeting now. We will be meeting very soon for physical lectures also. Let's hope for the best. Now, change or reconstruction કઈ રીતે થઈ શકે? તો સી નોર્મલી શું થાય ફ્રેન્ડ્સ, કે જ્યારે ચેન્જ ઓર રિકન્સ્ટ્રક્શન થાય ત્યારે આપણે અમુક પ્રોસેસ, જેમ કે પ્રોફિટ એન્ડ લોસ રેશિયો ચેન્જ થતો હોય, કાં તો કોઈ પાર્ટનરનું એડમિશન થતું હોય, કાં તો કોઈ પાર્ટનરનું રિટાયરમેન્ટ થતું હોય. વોટ ડુ વી ડુ ઓર વોટ આર ધ થિંગ્સ દેટ વી ડુ? સો વિલ સ્ટાર્ટ વિથ ફર્સ્ટ ફ્રેન્ડ્સ, જે આ ચેપ્ટરમાં છે એ, એન્ડ દેટ ઇઝ ચેન્જ ઇન ધી પ્રોફિટ એન્ડ લોસ રેશિયો. નાઉ theoretically let us understand, and then I'll take you to practical profit and loss ratio. Assume this way, there are 3 partners A, B and C. હું થોડું પર્સન્ટેજમાં કહું, થોડો ફ્રેક્શન્સનો હું ફેન નથી. આઈ લેસ ફેન ઓફ ફ્રેક્શન્સ, આઈ એમ મોર ફેન ઓફ percentage, so it is easy to understand. Let us take it this way. Suppose there are 3 partners B and C. Okay, there are 3 partners. Now suppose A ને 33 point profit મળે છે અત્યારે. Let us assume all the 3 are earning equal. 33.33 is earned by B, 33.33 is earned by C. હવે ઘણા એમ કહેશે સર 99.99 નથી થયું, 0.01 ક્યાં ગયું, તમે લઈ જજો. ઓકે, now equal. Now suppose they are willing to change this to like this. Will take 50%. Suppose we are just assuming B will take 30% and suppose C will take 20%. Now this is the new profit and loss ratio. This is the one and this is the new one. Suppose there is change in the profit and loss ratio. Now what happens because of this? Just concentrate on this fellow A. A ને પહેલા કેટલા મળતા હતા? અઝ્યુમ કરો કે ટોટલ પ્રોફિટ 100 છે. 100 ને બેઝમાં પકડો એટલે સમજવામાં બહુ ઈઝી રહેશે. સપોઝ ટોટલ પ્રોફિટ 100 છે, તો પહેલા ત્રણેયને 33 મળતું હતું. ઓકે, હવે 100 હશે તો A ને 50 મળશે. સો કેન આઈ સે ઓલ્ડ રેશિયો કરતા ન્યૂ રેશિયોમાં A ને વધારે પ્રોફિટ મળ્યો. A મોર બાય હાઉ મચ? તો 50 minus 33.33. and that is 16.67. I would request you to keep calculators with you so it would be easy for you to calculate. Old ma B ne 33.33 મળતા હતા. New ma B ne is getting more by how much? 16.67%. So B is gaining actually. We'll use two words, gain and loss. વધે તો gain, ઘટે તો loss. word તો હું નહીં કહું, loss word is not good. ઘટે તો આપણે word use કરશું sacrifice. To sacrifice there is decrease, to gain means there is increase. So because of change in the profit and loss ratio, A ને પહેલા જે હતા એને હવે મળવા માંડ્યા 50. That means એને 16.67 વધારે મળવા માંડ્યા. That means A is gaining by 16.67. Similarly if I talk about B, તો B ને પણ પહેલા 33.33 જ મળતા હતા, પણ હવે ન્યૂ શેરમાં B ને 30 જ મળે છે. That means B is at loss. B is sacrificing. B is sacrificing how much? 33.33 minus 30, that is 3.33. B is sacrificing 3.33. C નું જુઓ, C ને પહેલા કેટલું મળતું હતું? 33.33% was seriously. હવે C ને કેટલું મળે છે? 20% જ મળે છે. That means he is sacrificing 13.33. 33.33 minus 20, that is 13.33. And that is why બેયનું ટોટલ કરો. B કેટલું સેક્રિફાઈસ કરે છે? 3.33. C is sacrificing 13.33. બેયનું ટોટલ કરો. 3.33 plus 13.33, and that will be 16.66 or 16.67. અને ઈ જે 16.67 જે આ બે જણાએ સેક્રિફાઈસ કર્યું ઈ કોને મળી ગયું? A ને. સો ફોર્ચ્યુનેટલી અંદરો અંદર જ થયું, બહારથી કાંઈ આવ્યું નહીં, બહાર કાંઈ ગયું નહીં, પાર્ટી એડજસ્ટમેન્ટ થયું. B એ પોતાના 3.33% જવા દીધા, C એ પોતાના 13.33% જવા દીધા, અને આ બેયના ભેગા 0.67% થયું, અને ઈ 16.67% કોને મળ્યું? A ને. I hope this is getting clear to everybody. This is known as change in ownership and change in the profit and loss sharing ratio. Now because of the change in profit and loss sharing ratio, there can two things can happen. First thing, either partner would gain or the partner would sacrifice. કાં શેર વધી જાય કાં તો પાર્ટનરનો શેર ઘટી જાય. જો પાર્ટનરનો શેર વધી જાય ઓલ્ડ કરતા વધારે, then it is gain. જો પાર્ટનરનો શેર ઘટી જાય ઓલ્ડ કરતા ઓછો, then it is loss. Now let us understand these two things, and there is two formulas which we are required to learn in chapter 4. First formula you can see here, change in the profit share minus new share. હમણાં જ કર્યું ને આપણે 33.33 માંથી 50, 33.33 માંથી 30 માંથી 20. આપણે શું કર્યું? old minus new. Okay, this formula you can write it down in your book, is known as sacrifice ratio. Write down this formula, sacrifice ratio. The formula is old share minus new share. Old minus new is sacrifice. I would request everyone. And there is one more formula, and I'll take you to that formula also. See, you can see here, this is the formula for sacrificing ratio, and there is one more formula, and that is known as gain ratio. Sacrifice, that means person જતું કરે છે. Gain, that means એને મળે છે. We'll look at the practicals. I'm just teaching you the formula. See the formula for gain ratio. It is new minus old. Formula માં કાંઈ ફેર ન પડ્યો. Formula is same. See, old minus new. Old share minus new share. Gain માં શું છે? New share minus old share. This is, I hope this is getting clear to everybody. Then we'll look at the practicals. We'll find out old share minus new share, એટલે sacrificing ratio. Then we'll new share minus old share. ફેર કાંઈ નહીં પડે. એકમાં આન્સર પોઝિટિવ આવતો હશે તો બીજામાં આન્સર નેગેટિવ આવે. ઓલ્ડ માઇનસ ન્યૂ, 50 minus 33. આન્સર તો બેમાં સરખો જ આવે, એકમાં પોઝિટિવ આવે એકમાં નેગેટિવ આવે. ઓનલી ધેટ ડિફરન્સ, નથિંગ એલ્સ. Now we'll look at the practicals. જો ક્વેશ્ચન માં એમ કે find sacrifice ratio તો આપણે old minus new કરશું. જો ક્વેશ્ચન માં એમ કે gain ratio તો આપણે new minus old કરશું. I hope this is getting clear to everybody. We'll look at, so let us look at the example, friends. We had already discussed what is sacrificing ratio, what is gain ratio. Sacrificing ratio is equal to old ratio minus new ratio. Gain ratio is equal to new ratio minus old ratio. Now let us discuss further, friends. Let us see illustration 1. See, there are three partners, Ram, Shyam and Ghanshyam, R, S and G. They were sharing profit and loss in equal ratio. That means his ratio was 1 by 3. Equal means 33.33. That is 1 by 3. This is 1 by 3. This is 1 by 3. They were sharing in equal ratio. 1 is to 1 is to 1. That is 1 by 3, 1 by 3, 1 by 3. They decided to change their share in the ratio 3 is to 2 is to 1. So that is 3 plus 2, 5 plus 1, 6. So their new ratio of R is 3 by 6. Here it is 2 by 6. Here it is 1 by 6. Now this is the old ratio, friends, and this is the new ratio. Now in the question they have asked you to find out sacrifice. In the same example I will teach you both sacrificing ratio as well as gain ratio. So first of all, sacrificing ratio, friends. Sacrificing is old minus new. 1 by 3 minus 3 by 6, 1 by 2 minus 2 by 6, 1 by 3 minus 1 by 6. That is old ratio minus new ratio. So here you can do one thing, you can find out LCM, and if you don't want to find out LCM, just cross multiply. 6 into 1, that is 6 minus 3 into 3, that is 9 upon 6 into 3, that is 18. 6 into 1 divided by 3 into 3, this into this divided by 3 into 6. Again 6 into 1 is 6 minus 3 into 2 is 6 divided by 6 into 3 is 18. Similarly 6 into 1 is 6 minus 3 into 1 is 3 divided by 6 into 3 is 18. Now if you find the answer here it will be minus 3 by 18. Here it is 0 by 18. And here it is 3 by 18. In short, there is no change to second partner. શ્યામ ને કોઈ change જ નથી આવતો. શ્યામનો રેશિયો as it is છે. જે પહેલા હતો એનો જ છે કેમ કે 0 by 18 છે. પણ R નો આન્સર જો માઇનસમાં છે અને G નો આન્સર પ્લસમાં છે. Now concentrate very well, friends. Here we are finding sacrificing ratio. How did I come to know that we are finding sacrificing ratio? Because it is old minus new. Old ratio minus new ratio. Now remember this very well અને ફિટ બેસાડી દો તમારા મગજમાં અથવા તો ક્યાંક લખી લો. જો ઓલ્ડ માઇનસ ન્યૂ રેશિયોનો આન્સર પોઝિટિવ આવે, that means પ્લસ માઇનસ કરતા, જેમ આપણે અહીંયા કર્યું ને, અહીંયા માઇનસ 3 by 18 છે, અહીંયા પ્લસ 3 by 18 છે, તો યાદ રાખવાનું જો ઓલ્ડ માઇનસ ન્યૂ કરો અને આન્સર પોઝિટિવ આવે તો એ સેક્રિફાઈસ કરે છે, અને જો આન્સર નેગેટિવ આવે તો એ ગેઇન કરે છે. રિમેમ્બર ધીસ. અગેન સૌથી પહેલા ઓલ્ડ માઇનસ ન્યૂ કરો એટલે તમને આન્સર આવશે. છેલ્લે જો ઉપર પહેલા આર નો આન્સર શું આવ્યો માઇનસ 3 by 18, એસ નો આન્સર આવ્યો 0 by 18, જી નો આન્સર આવ્યો 3 by 18. એટલે આફ્ટર ડુઈંગ ધીસ જો તમારો આન્સર માઇનસમાં હોય, સી ઓલ્ડ માઇનસ ન્યૂ કર્યા પછી આફ્ટર ડુઈંગ ઓલ્ડ માઇનસ ન્યૂ, if your answer is negative that means it is gain, and if your answer is positive that means it is sacrifice. So here R નું જો નેગેટિવ છે that means R is gaining, and G નું જો positive 3 by 18 છે and hence G is sacrificing. So you can note it down in your book. When you are finding sacrificing ratio, what is the formula for sacrificing ratio? Old minus new ratio. So when you are finding the sacrificing ratio, old minus new ratio, if your answer is positive, old minus new કરો ને જો answer positive આવે તો એ sacrifice કરે છે, જો answer negative આવે તો એ gain કરે છે. I hope this is getting clear to you, friends. Now let us look at the gaining ratio. આમાં નામાં gaining ratio find કરી લઈએ. ચલો let us find the gaining ratio in this itself. So when I am finding the gain ratio, friends, your formula will be new minus old. So R as it is, as it is, and G also as it is. This time I'll write the new ratio first because it is gain. So this will be 3 by 6, this will be 2 by 6, and this will be 1 by 6 minus minus minus. What's your old ratio? Your old ratio is 1 by 3. Here also your old ratio is 1 by 3. Here also your old ratio is 1 by 3. Now let us cross multiply and find the answer. 3 into 3 that is 9 minus 6 into 1 6 upon 3 into 6 is 18. This is 3 into 2 6 minus 6 into 1 6 upon 6 into 3 and that is 18 is equal to 3 into 1 3 minus 6 into 1 6 divided by 3 into 6 and that is 18. So here your answer will be 3 by 18. Here your answer will be 0 by 18 and here your answer will be minus 3 upon 18. So again, what did I find out? I found out the gain ratio, and when I am finding the gain ratio, friends, mind very well, whenever you are finding the gain ratio, it is new minus old, and if the answer for new minus old is positive, if the answer for new minus old is positive, that means it is gain, and if the answer for new minus old is negative, it is sacrifice. Just excuse me friends, just remember this. જો સેક્રિફાઈસ જેવું જ છે. સેક્રિફાઈસમાં આપણે શું કરતા કે જો સેક્રિફાઈસ રેશિયો ફાઇન્ડ કરતા હોય, ઓલ્ડ માઇનસ ન્યુ કરતા હોય, જો આન્સર પોઝિટિવ આવે તો સેક્રિફાઈસ કરે છે, અધરવાઇઝ ગેઇન કરે છે. સિમિલરલી ગેઇનમાં પણ, ગેઇનમાં આપણે શું કરીએ, ન્યુ માઇનસ ઓલ્ડ કરીએ, અને જો ન્યુ માઇનસ ઓલ્ડનો આન્સર પોઝિટિવ આવે તો ગેઇન કરે છે, અધરવાઇઝ સેક્રિફાઈસ કરે છે. I taught you both the things in the same. Now you are just supposed to find out old ratio minus new ratio, nothing else. This is very simple. We discussed about the theoretical portion and the sacrifice ratio and the gain ratio. I would request you to solve the problems of sacrifice ratio and gain ratio in the exercise in chapter number 4 and you can submit me. Fine, we'll keep this session up to this much. Fine, in the next session we'll be coming up with the full-fledged questions of chapter number 4. Thank you.